worked on that one. All right, first section successful. Get down and go to another one. So pretty. F-16. Oh, there's another one. And they're low. I bet that was hella fun for those pilots. Right? And then left to center. Boop it. Live, laugh, boop. It's wet. Booper.
All right, friends, thanks for tuning in and watching another episode of Paddling with Kit. As always, I do appreciate it. This one was a fun one. Henson Creek has been on my radar for a really long time. After I turned 19, 20, kind of became an adult and became a paddler and started exploring around the Gunnison Basin, Henson Creek was one that always intrigued me, and I always wanted to return one day with the skills to paddle it. So actually having those skills now and being able to come back and check it off the list was really soul satisfying on a lot of levels. I'm going to talk first a little bit about the history, and then I'll move into some geology. Like many places in this part of Colorado, the history really starts, at least mostly, with the native Utes. They were in and around the area, frequented the area. When the first white and Western settlers arrived, kind of towards the end of the 1860s, right at the beginning of the 1870s, they reported finding some evidence of Ute habitations, including trees that had had their bark stripped in certain ways, just markings they could tell. But like I said, the first white people, first Western settlers into the area, kind of right at the end of the 1860s, beginning of the 1870s. Some of the Baker Party, which were the people that established Silverton, came over the mountains and found Lake City to be a really suitable town site. The actual creek of Henson Creek the name of Henson Creek comes from a guy named Harry Henson, who was one of those first prospectors, explorers in the area. Lake City kind of thrived and developed through the area. I'm really only going to talk about kind of Henson Creek for now and leave Lake City out of this. By far, the two biggest settlements in the Henson Creek area were the ghost town now, but at that time, thriving little metropolis of what was first called Galena City, but then was later renamed to Capital City. And then the Ouray mines, which were a little bit closer down towards Lake City. Galena City, or Capital City, is set in a very beautiful high mountain valley and was actually founded by this guy. I'm trying to remember his name. It was like John Lee or something. He had some big dreams, built himself a big house, and kind of fancied the idea of Capital City one time becoming the capital of Colorado. A little bit grandiose, but either way, the name stuck, and thus the name Capital City was born. Moving downstream just a little bit, you come to the famous mines at the Ouray. These were established in the mid 1870s, around 1874, and worked well into the 20th century. Fantastically rich producers. They produced almost $280 million in modern day equivalent, mining copper, silver, gold, lead. It really was kind of the main reason the railroad eventually came to Lake City later on, closer to the end of the 19th century, kind of in the 1880s. But really, a bulk of that was from both the Golden Fleece and then the Ouray. So that's kind of the reason Lake City got connected to the rest of the world by the railroad. Geologically speaking, everything in this area is all thanks to volcanics. Both the mineral wealth that was pulled out, the crazy gorges that exist on Lower Henson, the kind of crazy discolored mountains around Lake City, all of it stems from volcanism. As we've explored in some of the other videos, like the Box and Park Creek, some of the other places, this whole area of the San Juans was covered by huge lava flows back in the day. The San Juan Volcanic Pile is what they called it. This specific area dates back to about the middle phase, is what we call it, which was about 30 to 25 million years ago. This is kind of the same area of lava flows that we saw on the Lake Fork Box. The nearby as well, there are multiple calderas. We also explored some calderas in the San Juan Mountains in the last episode in Durango. Well, here there's a couple other calderas, namely the Lake City caldera and the Uncompahgre caldera. And the northern rim of the Lake City caldera actually passes very, very close to the canyon of Henson Creek. And the Uncompahgre caldera actually the rim of it crosses very near where Capital City is. It's these calderas that result or produce all the fantastic mineral wealth. The top or rim of the caldera is where a lot of the minerals precipitate out over the years and the eons. And that's what leads to the mineral formation of gold, silver, copper, lead, all the other heavy precious gems and metals that were mined in the San Juans. These old ancient calderas have a lot of lava flows and breccia inside them, which is like old mud flows mixed with lava that have hardened together. And the gorges and landscapes you see in and around Henson Creek are all from either these breccia and ash flows, what we call welded tuff. But all of it comes from the volcanism of the area. The one kind of outlier right in the area is Capitol Flats, in which Capital City sits. This is all just kind of modern fill. There was a lava dam or a landslide, something that blocked Henson Creek a long, long time ago in our history, probably thousands of years ago. And it allowed all the sediments and dirt and mud and fill to get washed down and back up behind it. And that's what creates this kind of otherwise abnormal flat area in the middle of what is a very steep and wild canyon. So just one other thing, quick mention, the Lake City Ice Park, which I kayak through, is a really neat place. And for anyone looking to get into ice climbing or just wants to go see some ice climbing, I would definitely check it out. It supposedly has a season longer than Ouray. They boast that they can get water and ice from November to March, sometimes even April. They've got over 100 routes and more on the way. I tried to get some figures on how many people visited last year, but I didn't hear in time before the video came out. But definitely, if you get a chance, check it out. It's way worth it. Lake City's kind of quiet in the winter time, so it'd definitely be helping out the town. Go down, get a bite to eat, stop in, check it out. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one.